Hello, hello. Oh, I need to, hopefully this keeps things muted. Oh. We had this working before, but it's been a while. Hello, everybody. I'm going to try to make this so that I'm not having to listen to it to me twice because it's very disconcerting. So while I wait to see if anybody is going to show up live, I know this is random, but I have quite a pile of walkthroughs that I need to get through. And so I thought one of the ways I would shake it up is at least to do a couple of them live. And so that's what I'm here to do. Hello, Anna. I'm having audio difficulties. I think that we found plugging this in was best, but I think I need a little bit of charge first. So I think I'm going to have to listen to myself. Oh, you know what? Let me just try to volume down. Ooh, there, that's much better. Okay. I'm going to make this larger in a minute so that you can see these better than my face. I've had these two for as long as they've been out. This one is the one that just came out. So, oh, hello, Mr. Elron. Go enjoy your concert. Okay. So let me try to do this here. This is StreamYard. I still don't have a perfect thought about how to work this, but let's try to mess with this. There we go. Is that better? Somebody can let me know if that's better. I can't take myself totally out or we won't be able to hear me talk. So you're kind of stuck with me a little bit. So I love these little book decks. Now, there are boxed sets for these. I do not have the box sets for these. There are reviews comparing the book decks versus the boxed sets. And they do look amazing. And at some point, I'll probably switch to those. But I really like the books. And I already have these two. So when the Crystallary came out just recently, I just wanted to complete my set where they all matched. And then I'll have to reassess when all of the boxes are out. Right now, you can get boxes for the Herbiary and the Bestiary, but not for the newest one. So, hello, everybody coming in. I'm going to try to stay somewhat succinct on what I'm doing just so that people watching it back can have it not be too crazy. So, let's just recap here. These books that we're talking about are by Maya Toll, and they are sets of 36 cards. The first one I believe that came out was the illustrated Herbiary, and they're books that are stunning. And we're going to look at, obviously, the other book more closely, but they are absolutely gorgeous books. And then in the back, they have an envelope where you can pull out these sheets, which we'll look at in the Crystallary, and then you can rip them apart and have a little set of cards. Now, this is not great cardstock, right? This is very, very thin cardstock. You can sometimes end up with like little nubbins where the nubbins were connecting each other. But once you edge them, like I've edged both of these, they really don't feel bad. They're very thin, so if you look, they bend. It's very thick cardstock. However, in all fairness, I have used these decks separately and mixed together, and they look pretty fine. Like I don't see any major chipping. I mean, maybe a little. That's like a nubbin. So the artwork is so gorgeous and vibrant. So, excuse me so much. I think what you're paying for is this beautiful book, and this was sort of an additional thing. Whereas you can get the box sets where they're full Oracle decks, but I'm not sure if you get the same exact book. So you'll have to take a look at the reviews that compare them and see which one appeals to you. I do like this small size. And this is why I have a struggle with the box sets, because they're more like Oracle size. And these are more like playing card size, which I quite like. So, especially when I have 3 of them and I want to maybe pull 3 of each and do a 9 card, which is what I'm going to try at the end. I don't know. I'm not sure that I want to give up the small size, even though it's not the greatest card stock. Yeah, the backs are stunning. So this is the back of the Herbiary, and I've done it like a dark blue sides. And I have walkthroughs of these already. And then this is the backing of the Bestiary. And then of course you have all of the animals here. The one thing that was changed is that it did add on page numbers. Not something I'm a fan of, but it's so small I can't personally even hardly see them, so they don't bother me too much. Some people really enjoy that part. So then I did these like a teal color on the side. So they're gorgeous. Okay, so let me move these out of the way. I just wanted to show this was a set by Maya Toll again. So I've been eagerly awaiting this one. Hello, everybody coming in. Oh, and I'm dumping cards everywhere. Hello, everybody coming in. Hello, hello, hello. It's a beautiful fall feeling day today. I'm feeling fallish in a nice little wrap. Hello. I'm excited to see you all. So I've been waiting for this one. I knew it was coming out. I've been waiting for it. It's just out recently. I can't tell you when, but literally just in the last probably couple weeks, at least in the US Amazon. So this one is the illustrated Crystallary, which again has 36 cards by Maya Toll, Guidance and Rituals. And so you have the same exact book with these beautiful now purple crystally background. And so then in the back of the book, we have this envelope. And this is where all the other ones, exactly like the other decks were. So now we have the crystal cards with the beautiful purple backgrounds. And so you can see, let's close this, as we pull these open, nubbins, right? You will get nubbins. It's same cardstock, nothing's different here. Has the page numbers like the so the Bestiary. The Herbiary had just the kind of keyword and the plant, no page numbers. The Bestiary has the keyword and the animal with a little tiny keyword. I have glasses on and I can't read that. So it doesn't help me. But it's so small that it also, again, doesn't bother me because I can't read it. So this one is following the tradition of the Bestiary and has the keyword, and then it has what is the crystal or the gem or the mineral, and then a page number there to find the opening. Ooh, loud motorcycle. So yeah, so let's pull these open, but we're going to look at these in the book picture because we're going to be able to see them better. I do wish I was slightly disappointed when I kind of skimmed through these. Like, for example, this is very crystalline. I love garden quartz. Even this, the moonstone is there. Sometimes I feel like the animal or the anchor or whatever takes prominence over the crystal itself. And I would really like, obviously, the crystal to be the prominent image. So, for example, with this, all this is going on, and then we have this little drop of the crystal here. So I wish the crystal stood out as being far more prominent than, say, a lion with rose quartz. There are rose quartz here, but it's not the prominent image. So that's my only caveat so far. But I really have saved this to look at with you guys. And so I'm just going to pull these apart whilst I look at people's chit chats. Hello, Miss Jamie. Hello, everybody that's come in. I hope everybody's doing well. And I'm very excited. Be ready for some random live walkthroughs as I try to clear my docket of walkthroughs that I need to do. I'm determined to have it not be stressing me out any further. So that means lots of walkthroughs coming out and some of them live. Now, I did see somebody, and I could not even begin to tell you who it was because this would have been a while back. You can take like a soft, be careful, but you can take like a emery board, nail file, emery board, they used to call it in the old times, and kind of sand off the nubbins, right? Just to make them a little bit more smooth. And then again, is what I found is that when you add the color on the sides, it does tend to kind of smooth that down a little bit themselves. I know they're so gorgeous, Witchy Woman. I love your name. They're so gorgeous. And again, they do have full oracle sets of the first two, and I'm sure the Crystallary will come out, so you can check that out. This is just what I have, but the artwork is all the same, and the artwork is stunning. But I just love the book so much. Okay, so let's just peek at these real quick together because we all like gorgeous things in the collectibles of tarots and oracles. Look at how pretty those are. Ah. And of course, I will be trying to get that darker purple color on the side because I think that will be gorgeous. Okay. Put these and these over here. So again, not great cardstock, held up pretty decently, but you get this gorgeous book to really look at. Okay, so again, it looks very similar. They've done an amazing job keeping everything really going together in this set. I keep these on my bookshelf because they look beautiful, and they've kept the whole theme. Everything looks quite gorgeous there, and it all comes together beautifully. It all sits on the shelf looking gorgeous as good books should do. I like the bottoms here. The bestiary has this lizard. We've got the clover here in the herbiary. And yes, I have done that. I've mixed the other two, and I think I'm going to try to mix them, although I'm going to try a couple things when we're done walking through them. And then we have the crystals obviously in that. So it's just gorgeous, right? Again, crystals, plants, and bestiary insects. So they're just beautiful. I mean, I just love this kind of stuff. Look at all the animals. Look at all the herbs. Look at all the gems and crystals. It just does my book-loving heart / card-loving heart / art-loving heart good. Okay. So, to the stones who seem quiet but in silence truly sing, and to my parents for applying the heat and pressure that taught me how to shine. I quite love that. So you have your contents. These are not alphabetized, which I think is why they ended up putting the page numbers on these. Again, I can't barely see them, so it's not as much a help. I don't think it's too hard to find them here. Let's see. Phase of the Soul says, I personally prefer the crystal not being the prominent part of that because there are a few crystals in it. Yeah, now I agree with you. I like that there's more there than just the crystal, but I would like the crystal to be a little more prominent. And I might be proven wrong as we look through these. Okay. So we have that. We have 36 of them. We have the preface. We've got some great quotes. Of course, we have to read the Emerson one, although I like Virginia Woolf as well. A leaf, a drop, a crystal, a moment of time is related to the whole and partakes of the perfection of the whole. Each particle is a microcosm and faithfully renders the likeness of the world. Beautiful there. She does talk somewhere, and I don't know where I saw this. No, it goes right into crystal. I saw somewhere where she talks about the difference between crystals, gems, and minerals, which I thought was really good. And the gems were just whatever we've decided was going to be valuable as humans. And they could be minerals or they could be crystals, but like a peridot or an emerald or ruby is a crystal that we've just decided is particularly valuable. Now, I don't know if that's a scientific definition of the difference between a crystal and a gem, but I do remember seeing it there. I always thought that gems had were higher on the hardness scale, but I know nothing. I am not a scientist. Oh, here, it's right here. Oh, don't come to my walkthroughs for scientific information. Okay, so let's just get started. I don't have these in order, obviously. And the images are the same, except for they have their keywords at the top and the names at the bottom, and they're in like little frames here. Look how sweet that is. So this, I think we're going to be able to see the images better. I actually really love this image for garden quartz. Should I try? If you get nauseous, look away for a second. I'm going to try to lower down a little bit, and it's going to have to bounce back up to try to, get us as close in as we can get so you can see. Sorry for the bouncing. It will even out. I love garden quartz. I have a little drop of garden quartz that literally looks like a drop, and inside of it is all of this just gorgeous, like a little garden on the inside. And so you have a page. There are worlds within you. Is going to be the sort of the keyword or the key phrase. It's garden quartz. She tells you the hardness level, and then she kind of has sort of a beautifully descriptive kind of what would this crystal be saying to you, and then she has a ritual, which is the same with her other deck. She's got a ritual that you might do. And then she has a reflection that she might do. So I'm going to wait for my favorite crystals, and then we'll read what those might be so you can hear what they would be. But I think this is really beautiful because it literally looks like in the drawings that there are gardens within, which I think is so beautiful. So we have garden quartz. The difference, Jody, between the box and the regular set is I don't know about the book. So you'll have to look at there's videos out there comparing them, but they have regular cardstock, full size, like oracle size cards instead of plain card with very thick cardstock, but it's not cardstock. It is cardstock in the sense of paper that's thicker. So it's nothing great here in terms of the cardstock. It's thick cards. You know what I mean, right? It's not a thick, it doesn't feel at all like deck stock, even thin deck stock. It feels like thick cardstock like you would use in a printer or something. But it has held up decently. But then you're looking at much bigger cards as well. And the Crystallary, it will come out with the box set, but right now it just has the book set. Okay, so we have garden quartz. So activate the void with azurite. But see, I guess in all fairness, while we have this little, just looks like a little version of azurite, if we look all around it, this is the actual look of azurite all around it. So we do get the essence of that. And it does feel like she's creating some sort of a portal, which is pretty cool there. So then again, ritual, and I will read a couple of these. I'm just waiting for my favorite ones to do so. And then a reflection. And she does talk at the beginning of the book about how you could do free writing, you can do dream work, journeying work, meditation with these, paying attention to patterns, like if you're getting different hard stones, because she talks about harder stones taking longer to work and are used for more stubborn conditions. So the hardness factor is there for ritual or magic type use. To pay attention to the hardness scale. But she does give you reflections that you could read and then you can journal on, which is really beautiful. So we have that. She has labradorite. Now, I love labradorite. Labradorite is very powerful. It affects me very strongly on a physical level. And so I love that. 6 to 6.5. Sometimes it's impossible to connect with a sense of soul's purpose. Life can feel like a dreary trudge from work to the grocery store to your desk piled with bills. In those moments when you feel far from magical or mystical, call on labradorite. The Inuit people say that labradorite was an ordinary seeming stone until it was struck open by a mighty warrior. Suddenly, labradorite's matrix was revealed. Inside the ordinary was dancing fire. The lights leapt from the stone into the sky, becoming the aurora borealis. Labradorite reminds you that you are both the ordinary seeming stone and the mighty warrior. You have the power to release your own secret depths and light the night sky with your flame. I love that. I love this. And so then there's a ritual, find your fuel. One Nordic myth teaches that the aurora borealis connects us to the heavens. It's a pathway to the afterlife for the recently deceased, as well as a shaman's bridge between our material existence and the planes of pure spirit. This connection to the divine realms is the essence of labradorite. Whether a wick, a stick, or a gas fire needs fuel. What fuels your flame? Do you know what lights you up and stirs your passion? If not, ask the fire over 7 consecutive nights. On the first night, light 1 candle. The next light 2. The next night 3, and so on for 7 nights. As you light each candle, hold the question in your heart. What is my fuel? What lights me up? Journal what comes to you in the moment, as well as noting dreams and synchronicities probably over the course of those 7 days. And then there's a reflection, the fire inside. An acorn has everything it needs, all the resources and nourishment, understandings and patterns to become an oak tree. We are much the same. Everything we are becoming is encoded within us. With light and water and space, we grow. But sometimes we get hung up. Like an acorn caught in a spider's web and unable to reach the ground, we feel like we can't take root. We lose sight of any destiny beyond our daily doings. But the pattern is still there, like the fire of labradorite hidden in the ordinary stone. When you were young, did you feel a sense of greater purpose? Can you reach back to that feeling now? You don't need to name your purpose or destiny. Simply feel it and bask in the sensation of having a life's mission. And what's interesting is that when I was a little kid, what I wanted to be was a geologist. I was fascinated with stones and rocks, and I did all my projects on that. Of course, I went on to want to be a weather person. I also wanted to be a Marine, not a girl Marine, but a hiding in the Marine Corps as a girl, being and doing as good as the guys. And, I'm sure several other things along the way. But I did, one of my first memories of being what I wanted to be was a geologist. I don't think the color candles would matter, whatever would be good to you. There could be mixed candles. I wouldn't say, at least it does in this ritual, it doesn't ask you a specific question, or it doesn't tell you specifically what color to use. So I would say use your own intuition on that. So yeah, so that's what each of them will give you, is this ritual, a reflection, and then sort of a write-up of how you might approach that particular crystal. Oh, Marge wanted to be a witch as a kid. And did you fulfill that desire? Because that's awesome. So the next one we have is Amber. What are you becoming? I love this image. Again, there's a lot more going on, but it highlights the amber, which I love. And again, for those just coming in, I'm just using the book because it has this giant, beautiful image. But if we were to go, say, find amber, of course, you know it's going to be at the bottom. So if we look at the card, it is the same exact full image. It just has the "What are you becoming" at the top. And in the bottom, it has the amber plus the page number there. So I'm just using this because we can see it, I think, much more clearly. And so that's why we're just looking at the book. Plus, I mean, in terms of this set, the book is the star and the cards are sort of something extra that you're given versus, say, the box set where you have a full oracle. And then obviously the cards are much more of a star there. Kay says there's another native story that the Northern Lights are fires that are light to help guide those who have passed over through the path of souls, which is beautiful. Yes. Hello, Miss Nikki. Mwah, to you. I know I've warned everybody to prepare for lots of random live walkthroughs because I'm determined to clear the desk that is next to my reading table full of decks to do walkthroughs of because they are stressing me out. And I think the best way to do that is to just power through them. So I'm sorry for all of the walkthroughs that you all are going to get bombarded with. You don't have to watch them until down the road. They might just come out a lot. Okay, so Amber, beautiful. Again, what are you becoming is the key phrase there. And then you have your ritual and you have your reflection. What were you like as a child? Did you like to sing or laugh? Lots of good questions for a journaling. Like, I think this would be a great book for journaling because she's asking you questions in the reflection phase to allow you to sit with the energy. If you have a piece of amber or sit with the card, do the ritual, do the journaling there. So if you're somebody who likes to journal and do sort of a reflective work, then this might be a book that you really enjoy. So yeah, Amber. I love this moonstone. I have a piece of moonstone and we have ebb and flow here. Mama Moon rules the waters, pulling the tide and singing to the ebb and flow within our own watery's body. Flowing with life tide, she assures you, will lead to renewal. Talking about the phases of you, fluid or crispy. That's interesting. What in your life makes you feel fluid and flowing? What makes you feel crispy and all dried up? I quite like that. She asked me if I thought I was a moonstone that was causing the leaf to curl, or the leaf would normally do this in the moon phase. Turned crisp and never moved again. Interesting. Yeah. So are you fluid right now, or are you feeling a little crispy? You might need to work with the moonstone. I like it. I like it. Lapis Lazuli, step up to sovereignty. I have a cube. I have a cube, and this shows it as a cube too. Mine looks a little bit different. So far, I think I don't have amber. So far, I think I have in some form all of the ones we've looked at so far. Crispy is better than crusty. I would agree. It's just going to show the books. Claire, the cards are in the back of the books. When you see the box set, those are larger cards. And I don't know if it's the same book. I'm guessing it's not the same book. But the book has the cards in the back. So you're just going to see it as a book. Okay, so we have Step Up to Your Sovereignty with Lapis Lazuli. And I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Somebody tell me, is it Lazuli? I don't think so. Somebody tell me how to pronounce this correctly, because I'm pretty sure I slaughtered every time I say it. Choose your regalia, find your voice, but to speak your truth, you first must know the truth. Lazuli. Is that right, Miss Nikki? Lazuli? Lapis Lazuli? There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Nikki. I know I slaughtered every time. Lapis Lazuli. Lapis Lazuli. See, we're going to learn something together, folks. How are the foundation? You are the foundation for Howlite. This is gorgeous. Like, look at this. I have a piece of Tumblestone Howlite. I like all the roots that are coming out. Soft is not a word usually used to describe a song, but it suits Howlite just right. Shh, she whispers to your monkey mind. I have a monkey mind. Come back to center. Sit in stillness. I got this from Amazon. That's the only, yeah, as soon as it came out, I like snagged it off Amazon. Sliding into sleep. And a reflection is off your center. Is your mind, if your mind is a tree, are most of your thoughts like the trunk, the branches, or the twigs? Mine are probably twig-like, rustling, because the twigs hold the leaves and the leaves are going rustle, 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 rustle. So my mind is probably all the twigs and the leaves and the crackly bits. How does it feel to have trunk thoughts? I prefer trunk thoughts. Trunk thoughts are when I'm dropping deep. Trunk thoughts are when I'm doing divination. Trunk thoughts and root thoughts are when you're, connecting to ancestors, and then you just feel like, okay, I can breathe. But most of the time, I got twig thoughts. That's what I think about myself. Emerald. Choose your initiation. I do like this where it's that lantern with the emerald here as being that shine, right? That's causing that to go forward. I think that's really beautiful. Picture Emerald as a smoky cat, her gaze flashing verdant as she looks over her shoulder at you. Look at her beautiful green eyes. So that has new eyes, talking about not eyes and the green of life. Have you had times in life when your lust for something outside yourself drained your energy and feel you empty? All the green of nature is concentrated within the emerald, says Hildegard von Bingen. I'm sure I'm slaughtering that. I really wish you would have done a deluxe gilded edition with these. I don't think, Jamie, do you know if the box sets are gilded? I mean, those are full oracle cards. They may not be gilded, but they are full oracle cards. And I'm sure that that's going to come out with the crystal as well. The herbiary and the bestiary are already out as those deluxe box sets, but I don't know that they're gilded. Next is Sugilite. If the universe had a superhero and that superhero had a cosmic decoder ring, it would be made from a polished sphere of Abergine banded Sugilite, or maybe from just the tiniest sliver of this potent and vibrant mineral. I like this. Sugilite taps directly into your nervous system, boosting your innate ability to feel the life forces at work within the world around you. Interesting. Jamie said the herb one is gilded. What does the crystal look like? Oh, that's a seed. Now, I guess it's this in the center. Yeah. Okay, because see the center part behind the nervous system, because here's a picture of what the crystal would look like. Sagulite. Thank you, Annette. I get annoyed. I do not know how to pronounce all of these. Yeah, so this right here is the crystal. It has the body in front of it and the brain behind it. And it's feel in order to know. And then the energy of illness is what it's talking about. The place of true healing is a fierce place. It's a giant place. I like her writing, or this is somebody else, but I do like her writing in the book. The place of true healing is a fierce place. It's a giant place. It's a place of monstrous beauty and endless dark and glimmering light. And you have to work really, really, really hard to get there, but you can do it. I write quite like this. This is Cheryl Strayed, Tiny Beautiful Things, Advice on Love and Life from Dear Sugar. I don't know anything about that or who that is, but I like that she doesn't, like it, you can feel the weight of healing versus, oh, it's just like fluffy light here. Okay, here we have another one for somebody to tell me how to pronounce it. Chrysocolla, unless that's a Y. We can see that beautifully right here. We get that sense of like a chrysalis, something that might be transforming. But the question is, what do you need? Without water, chrysocolla is simply oxidized copper and silica. Chrysocolla. See, thank you, Annette. You have to stay the entire length of the video to help me. But add water, the element of both flow and emotion, and voila, magic happens. Water is magical. If you doubt it, imagine our Earth without it. With a little H2O, not only does that copper and silica become rather remarkable, it becomes the stone that the Egyptian Queen Cleopatra never left home without. Pretty cool. I like this because you see this kind of running through the coloration, running through all the gems here. Even in the back of the cicada, I feel like you're seeing it there as well. Unpack the past, soften and shift. See, where are your ideas rock hard? Like that's a question we can all work with. What happens if you allow a little water, a little flow into your thought process? I feel like this has got some great reflection work there. I love it. Amethyst, expand into water. Amethyst for me is like a direct conduit to the Fae. I always try to keep amethyst around, and it's certainly on my Fae spaces, but that's just me. I don't know where I got that from, but it's the truth for me. But this is cool because it's like you've broken open and into a geode, but it also kind of is the shape of a human's face as well. So we're going to read a little bit of this because why not? Imagine lying on your back, looking up at the endless indigo twilight as night's first stars appear. Feel the freedom of being a small part of this vast and deepening dance in the gloaming between day and night. This peaceful, joy-filled wonder is Amethyst's gift. It starts in your heart and swirls up into your head, encouraging you to dream your brightest future and step into your wisest self. Magic exists in life's interstitial spaces. I don't think I've ever heard that word. Interstitial space. Let's look this up, folks. I love learning new words. Let's interstitial. Let's see what that means. Interstitial means of forming or occupying interstices. Okay, that does not tell me anything. Thank you very much. So this says interstitial space means the fluid-filled areas that surround the cells of a given tissue, also known as tissue space. Magic exists in life's interstitial spaces, so in the fluid spaces between what? Between cells of a given tissue. So all throughout our cells, I guess it's saying. Pretty awesome. It's a Google word. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not the only person. So magic exists in life's interstitial space. So that means all within our cells. That's how I'm taking it. Amethyst will tell you. Find your magic, your expansiveness, in the moment between your in-breath and your out-breath, in the space between day and night, or in the soft, gooey selfness that exists, always where your head meets your heart. I love it. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. May have to put somebody in timeout. Seeing Love and the Lands of Dreams here. So now we have First the Fire, Larimer. I've never seen Larimer. This is not a crystal I've seen. It looks really interesting and really brightly tealy and turquoisey colors. It's gorgeous. The fire of volcanoes creates islands in the midst of the ocean's ceaseless churn. I was born of fire. Larimer reminds those who don't see beyond her swirling layers of turquoise blue and sea green. That's pretty cool. I just got a Septarium Drew's egg. Love, love, love. Says, oh, beautiful. So yeah, there we go with that. That's not one I have any experience with. Oh, Nikki has a piece. It's precious. It's precious. Carnelian, I love. Get Curious Carnelian. Again, this, you can see it all in the beads. You can see it here. I love the seal wax here, but even the color tones of the globe feels very carnelian. So that's quite gorgeous. I have one of my favorite pieces. Oops, sorry, folks. I really love these kind of blobs or just roundy bits that fits in your hand really well, but they're just gorgeous. Carnelian's a beautiful crystal. Get Curious, and Isabel's curious about what's going on. It's talking about crafting your seal, the setting sun. Do you allow yourself to think about death, or is it a subject locked behind a bolted door in your mind? Can the rhythms of day and night create a metaphor for you about dying and what may come next? So it's asking you to go deep here, which is good. I like to see that. Here we have Imperial Topaz. This is interesting because, I mean, it seems like there's a lot of different crystal colors here in this image. What I would think of as topaz would be these kind of yellow orangey tones here that you're seeing. But in terms of the image, you're kind of seeing all night, Miss Jody. You live in abundance is what it's shown. Now, it does show the yellow one on the next page. So I don't know if this would be which is, you know, just to, oh, here we go. The word imperial was added to topaz during the 19th century when Russian czars declared the royal family the only people fit to own it. Imperial only refers to topaz in the golden to pinkish color range. So apparently topaz can be of different color tones. And if it's golden to pinkish, you can't use it unless you are of the imperial family. So we learned something new. There are different colors and tones to topaz. I just always have thought of it more in the golden tones myself. We learn new things. Here we have blue topaz. Be soft and listen. Topaz in the middle here. Sister to imperial topaz, blue shares the message of abundance, but where imperial reminds you to savor the world around you, blue wants you to notice the gifts within you. Yep, I guess you are an empress, Marcel. When clear topaz was irradiated, boy, I didn't know I would need all the words for this, and heated, it gains a blue cast. When this occurs naturally through hot spots in the earth, the blue is soft and watery. When this treatment is done after mining, the blue is bright and brilliant. And you can tell that there's a lot of different crystals that got heated up, like they heat up amethyst, I believe, to make kind of fake or baked citrine, and you can tell because it's kind of an unrealistic color, and so apparently you can do that as well with topaz. These crystals are called London or Swiss blue topaz, depending on the tone. Yeah, it's kind of like baked. There's other things you can do. Hello, Miss Anaconda. Uh, yeah, the trick to fall on people. Right? Fake tree, yeah. And I don't know, like, I don't know what you guys think. Like, is it faked or is it just baked and you just understand that that's what it is? But I feel like then it needs to be very clear. Okay, here's some baked citrine. You want it? Great, but to when it gets pulled off as naturally occurring citrine, I think that's obviously where the problem is. And you can, I think once you do a little bit of research into it, you can tell when you're looking at the baked forms. Here's Ruby. This is gorgeous. I love the spider that's here. You only more so with Ruby. Ruby is like love. She can fill you up or drain you dry. That must be like a black widow spider, right? She doesn't discriminate or judge. She simply heightens what's already there. As Dorothy found out after she donned the ruby red slippers, there's a bit of learning curve. Slide that ruby ring onto your finger and you'll become more you. The question is, are you ready? Bye, Miss K. Oh, get some sleep. So you would use this to add amplitude to intention. So we have that. Yeah. Not mine either, Miss Nikki. Lessons in Blood, Almudine Garnet. I love the moon phases around here. I love the tree here with all the rubies on here. It's really, this is a gorgeous image. Not that any of them aren't gorgeous. I don't know anything about Almudine Garnet. I do use pieces of garnet on my table. Yeah, I have a little round one too. Almudine knows your storyline didn't start the day you came kicking and screaming into this world. No, it started so long ago that the stars have since shifted their course in the sky, and the dust of that day has hardened into stone. Your beginnings are carried in your blood, in the memory created by each DNA mutation and epigenetic genetic tag. Blood is memory, not just your own, but those who came before. You can ride your own blood back to those distant knowings, but more than that, Almudine will help you move and shift that memory, changing what gets carried forward. Sink into yourself. Your past's past, Almudine whispers. I have a tale to tell. I love the writing of this book. I know I'm reading too much, and that's going to be annoying, but it's a book. It's a book. Obviously, looking at your history, looking at your lineage would be sort of the work that would be done here. Yeah, I do like I like her writing, and I enjoyed these as well. I sat down and read both of these all the way through. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can say Lucifer, and I love the show. Let's see, the fundamentals of humanness, salt. I really liked that there was salt here. I work a lot with salt in my practice. I love, obviously, Himalayan salts and different salts like that I use. I've got all different colors and types of salt to use for like making herbal salts and things like that. So I really like that this was added in here. The fundamentals of humanism. This is a gorgeous picture talking about salt washing, the salt in your social circle. There are people. Oh no, my phone. Just a minute. I think if I clear this, it will come back. We figured this out before. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, hold the line, as my friend says. Hold the line. All right, let me get it back. Everybody just stretch your legs for a minute. Oh, there we are. There we are. We're back. All right. Sorry, folks. This is what happens when you try to use your phone along with your webcam at the same time. Okay. Same function salt as a party. They'll introduce strangers. So anyways, we've got that going on there. Lepidolite. I love lepidolite. It's really great for anxiety and stress. Name the band of the song. Oh, there's a song. Oh no. Name the band of the song. Is there a song called Hold the Line? I'm not sure. Um, I have pieces of lepidolite. I also give worry stones or palm stones of lepidolite to people that I know are struggling with anxiety, because it's really fantastic for that. Breathe in your trueness. You know, y'all know me. I'm not a huge fan of cute unicorns, but you know, unicorns are powerful. And that's my problem with unicorns, is if you look at old mythology surrounding unicorns, they are very powerful creatures of myth. And so seeing them reduced down to cute little things are often kind of just rubs me the wrong way. But I think that this is a beautiful image of it anyways. Look at how cool these are formed. Yeah, I know. That's me too. And some people do. And so I don't want to, strip some people's joy from them. There is a unicorn oracle deck that's coming out that kind of looks like it might lean into the more powerful aspects of unicorn, but I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. I do love the way this forms. That is really cool. How do you self-soothe? Next, we have Peridot. Look at how beautiful that is. So much life in you. Deep in your heart, there's a place of verdant joy and shining wellness where moss carpets the rocks and tree trunks are crisscrossed by flowering vines. The air is rich with birdsong and every breath is crisp and vibrant, reaffirming life. In this magical and miraculous inner landscape, anything is possible. Come dance with me, Peridot says. There is still so much life in you. Restore your spirit and remember your bliss. Beautiful. Connect with the medicine around you. Reflection about what is amplifying your power. What makes you doubly strong, doubly blessed, doubly well, right? What weakens you? What's your kryptonite? So knowing those things is going to help you. Which one has a lithium base? I'm not sure. I'm not sure which one we're talking about. And yes, Rami, it is very good for, definitely don't lick the crystals. I know we joke in this channel about licking salt lamps, but don't lick crystals, and always do your research about crystals and how you use them and what are appropriate to do so. One nice thing about cards is if it does have lithium or any other thing that you should be careful of. I love celestial quartz. So this is rabbit trailing me. It's like, oh, see the pretty crystal, and then I lose the whole conversation. Celestial quartz, become inimitable. Oh, is that not a good word? Deep in the heart of the earth, celestial forms, layer by uneven layer. Perhaps in the distant past of her beginning, she was a regular quartz. But after centuries of responding to ever-present change in temperature, moisture, and even the shifting of tectonic plates, she has flowed and morphed into unexpected shapes and textures. If we allow it, this is what life does to each of us, building our unique knowledge and wisdom until we become celestial ourselves. Allow the world to teach you this grandmother stone whispers. Grow into your own imitable self. Wisdom is a byproduct of your own becoming. I love this. Do you not love her writing? Be with the rocks, respecting wisdom, and talking about aging and things of that nature. The word celestial describes how some quartz forms. Any member of the quartz family, including amethyst and citrine, can become celestial. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Selenite, Sacred Center. Selenite, in grief work, there are two crystals that work. I've used the most. Now, I've used multiple ones in grief work, but obsidian. So I have an obsidian sphere that grounds me. It's like an anchor when you feel like, how sometimes if you're in the midst of grief or just really difficult times or really bad anxiety attacks and things like that, that you kind of feel like you've just shattered into a billion pieces and you can't find your footing. Obsidian sphere lets me have that moment of kind of pulling my pieces together and kind of grounds me. But selenite, oh, this is a selenite is just like pure bring you back to center in a totally different way. I spent a lot of time with this past winter in terms of grief work, and it has just been absolutely amazing. So usually when I'm coming on the fall, when things are difficult for me in grief work, I usually get a hug deck that helps. And last year I never could find a hug deck that worked, and this ended up being my hug deck for all of last year's work. So okay, it's going to now roll around. So yes, sacred center, honoring. Oh no, we're going to get echo. Plug your ears, folks. We may. My thing just died. I don't hear any echo. Do you hear any echo? I'm going to stay here until somebody tells me if they're hearing any kind of an echo. Yeah, do not wash your selenite. I will rinse mine briefly. Oh, no echo. Okay. If you do, just yell. I don't hear it yet, so we're going to just keep going. Okay, good. Citrine full of riches. I adore citrine. I have a citrine sphere. Citrine for me is a really great scrying stone. Citrine has no patience for navel gazing and narcissism. There's a whole world out there, citrine admonishes, guiding your attention to the abundance around you. Tune outward. I do love it. Do you open the door for citrine's gift of abundance, or do you push against the riches, joy, and contentment that citrine can bring? Beautiful. Here we have sodalite. Come to calm. I think we looked at this, but this is gorgeous. I do have sodalite. Rest and reset, talking about stress. So all those with stress. When you're in flight or flight response mode, you can't hear the voice of your heart. And actually, you're not supposed to. Our bodies are hardwired to get us out of danger. If Neolithic woman hung around wondering if it was her dharma to get eaten by the saber-toothed tiger, our species would have died out a long time ago. I do like that. You're not, if you're in flight or flight mode, you aren't supposed to be hearing the voice of your heart, because then you're just going to get eaten by a saber-toothed tiger. I do like her. She's got some vinegar in her that I quite like in her writing. Here we have morganite. I have no experience with morganite. We can see it, I'm assuming, here around the edges. Breathe into your heart. So in the midst of stress, we aren't going to breathe into our hearts. But morganite says, let's go to our heart now. The saber-toothed tiger attack is over. So now let's go and go into our heart. I do like that. Stretch into your fullness, morganite whispers. It's really beautiful. I've not ever seen morganite before. We have a ritual for commitment and a reflection about what keeps us small. So that, I think, could be powerful. What are the benefits of staying small? And what are the potential rewards of good stretch, of stretching out? So that sounds interesting there, doesn't it? Hematite, very powerful. I have a monolith of hematite that's in my ancestor altar that's very powerful. Anchor in, hematite instructs, whether it's your thoughts running rampant, your energy shooting off in 70 directions, or your spirit wanting to fly free from your skin. Hematite's message is the same, anchor in. It's like a salmon-colored diamond when facet made. Ooh, that sounds beautiful. Let's see if she says... No, she doesn't bring anything. It's definitely more of a, sometimes there's tidbits about where it comes from and things, but it definitely is not like your one-stop shop for looking them up. I love Judy Hall's big book of crystals that I have. Wait, it might be right down here. Where's my other one? This is one. Oh my I'm caught. I was about to have a panic. I'm very claustrophobic, and my arm, when my things get tangled and I can't move, it freaks me out. I do like this book here, The Book of Stones by Robert Simmons and Naisha Ashian. This is a good one. And then the other one, it must be over on the other side. Here it is. You know, I keep 2 books of everything, or I try to keep 2 books of things. And so the other one that I keep around is Judy Hall's The Encyclopedia of Crystals. So those are the 2 books that I keep around. So let's just, for the sake of checking, let's see if Morganite is in this book. Because, we don't have anything better to do, folks. You guys are going to be like, please don't go back to not doing live chats, please. Okay, I don't see Morganite in this book. Okay. Oh, wait, that's not the right one to look at. Morganite, page 35. And that thinks it comes from Brazil and Madagascar. So let's take a look. It's in the pink section. So hexagonal. Brazil, China, Ireland, Switzerland, Australia, Czech Republic, France, and Norway. Heart chakra, of course, with the pink. Zodiac sign, Libra. Planet Venus. In addition to carrying the generic properties of beryl, Morganite is a love attractor that encourages loving thoughts and actions and creates space to enjoy life. Recognizing escape tactics, close-mindedness, or egotism that block spiritual advancement, it releases karmic emotional pain. There you go. Oh, Jamie says, I have a Morganite. Oh, yeah, please put a picture up on Discord. I would love to see it. I've never heard of it or experienced it. Okay, so there we go. Hematite is powerful, understanding structure, part of the whole. Are you a child of the forest or the ocean? If you had to pick one, what would you say? Excuse me. I am a child of the forest who longs for the ocean. I am a child of the forest 100%, but I do greatly long for the ocean. And I'm always called to the ocean for when things are at its absolute worst. I'm called to the ocean. So that's kind of me. But I would, if I had to pick one to be a child of, I would be a child of the ocean. Or I'm sorry, a child of the forest. But the call to the ocean is strong. Does pushing against structure help you understand yourself and your position? I mean, she really has some great. She has some great questions for journaling and things like that. That is fantastic. I do have a Discord for people who are taking my classes currently and for people over on my Patreon. So there's a Discord group for that. So that's what she's talking about. Sapphire is also in the beryl family. Alyssa, you know your well, and that too. I think we have some crystal people. Crystal people. I am not a crystal person. I enjoy crystals. I have them everywhere. And I love them, but I am not an expert. I tend to not choose to look up anything until I've worked with a crystal usually. So I want to get my initial reaction energetically. And then I go and look it up. And I actually recommend that for people. Now, sometimes we've already looked it up and that's why we purchased it. But at the same time, if you have the opportunity to just experience the crystal or set aside what you think you know and what the books might say, and just sort of get that energetic hit first and then dive into the other stuff, I do recommend it. I don't know that it's the best scientific way, certainly not. And it's not necessarily if you're going to be a specialist in the area. But in terms of just really getting to have a personal connection with a particular crystal, I do think letting how you relate to a particular crystal is more important than what any book will say. That's what I'm trying to rambly say. Ammonite, a long time ago when the mountains were oceans, a cephalopod called an ammonite met made its home in a spiral shell on the ocean floor. Its shell was much like the shell of a snail or a conch. Is it conch or conch? Somebody can tell us that. I know it's a fossil, but it's beautiful. I have them on my reading table. Where did it go? Here's one. I keep them on my reading table. They have amazing energy to them. When the ocean receded, these cephalopods failed to recede with it. Their remains were fossilized in what became a mountainside. The pressures of time and the soil matrix of the mountain caused their chemistry to shift, becoming opalescent and sparkling. Time changes everything. Amethyst knows what in your life needs spaciousness and time so it can become a jewel. Yeah, this one is not particular shiny, but you can see it. They do, and I have a smaller one I think that has even more shine. So you can see it to differing degrees. Sometimes you can get slices of them as well, but I do like the full ones also. Exploring your cycles, and then transmutation, this idea of shifting. Al, this is if I break this, that would be pretty crazy because this is rock solid. I love the turquoise eggs here. You got the turquoise all up in the clouds. Find your way home, turquoise. I love turquoise. My aunt wore a lot of turquoise in the 70s. She has a whole, I have a bone casting set, and in my casting class, Elle has, I think it might have been Elle's fault. And she had said, are you worried because I had found a snail shell in the forest? She's like, are you worried that it's too fragile? I'm like, oh no, it's stronger than it looks. And I squeezed it and it shattered. It was quite a moment of shock in the casting class. So this one is not going to break. So anyways, yes, I do love a good piece of turquoise here. Nest or novelty, reflection. What is possible when you release guilt and fear so you can examine all aspects of your desire? What happens when you accept that your tensions and desires that seem to conflict can be used to create balance? So yeah. Here we have rose quartz. Of course, rose quartz is such a loving energy to that, to the crystal. I don't know if anybody else uses it for anything else. Like, it really does have such a sweet energy to it. You wonder, like, is it, because we hear so much about it, like, is the energy that, or is it, that we've just heard it so many times that we, go into that energy of it. But it is such a sweet energy. 4-element purification. In the Taoist tradition, after you work with rose quartz, you clear it by passing it through the steam of boiling water sprinkled with rose petals. All 4 elements are used in rose quartz's purification. Steam is a marriage of fire and water. Fire requires air or else it suffocates. Petals from plants represent the earth element. You can replicate this process for refreshing and renewing yourself. Using herbs and spices from your kitchen or non-toxic plants from your garden, create a steam bath. Steam your face or your feet or pass your hands over the mist. Think about what you want to cleanse and use the symbolic meanings of different flowers, herbs, and spices to add some oomph to your process. Goodbye, Ronnie. According to Cornish folklore, snail shells are used to attract prosperity. I did not know that. Well, according to the Taoist tradition, it's okay. I always think I rinse, I will, even my selenite, I will rinse very quickly in water and then wipe it right down. And I've not had anything erode or anything like that. Like, I've never had any problem with it. Again, I don't keep it in the water, and I don't recommend you do it. Do your research, but I don't have any problem with it. I just kind of will just zip it through really quick and kind of wipe it down. But I wouldn't leave it like sitting in water either. Black tourmaline. Of course, look, folks, you all know I'm getting a pile of crystals over here. I love dandelions. Let's see, how is she associating dandelions with Blow it out. Ritual for blowing it out. Like shamans in many cultures, you can use this metaphor of the breath as a vehicle for change and getting rid of what you don't need. It's simple. Blow it out. I do like her. I do like her writing style. Black tourmaline is both pyroelectric, which means it can hold an electrical field, and piezoelectric, meaning it creates an electrical charge when under pressure. Fun fact, this was discovered by brothers Pierre and Paul Jacques Curie. Pierre was husband of the famous scientist Marie Curie. It also carries a faint electrical charge, so black tourmaline works with the stuff we call energy. Our ancient ancestors sensed this. Black tourmaline was traditionally used to repel unwanted forces and protect against psychic attacks, metaphorically attracting negative energy and neutralizing it. Electrons in an atom function in a similar way. Modern fields of science are constantly discovering new things about our universe. There is so much left to learn. Precious opal. Opal is beautiful. It's very soft, though. I do remember having an opal ring when I was younger, and it didn't last very long. It ended up cracking in the ring, but it is because I don't think though it's harder than some of the ones that we've seen. Hello, Mr. Soren. Envision the future with opal. Visualize your future and the fluidity of becoming. A rhythm becomes a habit when we can no longer hear the music. I don't know if we want to get to a place in which we don't hear the music. This is so sweet. So I love Smoky Quartz. Absolutely love. It's one of my favorite crystals. And the keyword here is fall apart. I am the ground beneath your feet, Smoky Quartz whispers. I am the hollow in the earth and a cradle to rest in. I still the noise and ease the pain. I am the grandmother who sings you to sleep and sweetens your dreams. I am the foundation on which to place the first stones. I am the place you go when all other places are wrong and rough and your world feels unrecognizable. Welcome 2020. I am truth. I am earth. I am solid. I am stable. I am home. It's okay. You can let go now. Come on. Who does not want a crystal that is going to say all that to you? That's all I'm saying. Feeling safe. I like this going to pieces and then feeling. The ritual is for going to pieces, but then the reflection is is feeling safe. Green fluorite, absolutely gorgeous. Love all kinds. Any kind of fluorite is really powerful. It's a great divination crystal from my own personal experience. Is this mine? You and not you, and what kind of pieces that you can let go. Robert Halenga of the 16 Pleasures says, I realized I was tired of wanting things. I'd rather just stand in the river about waist deep and let them flow around me. I like to feel the current. It's powerful, but I don't try to stop it anymore. I don't try to grab hold of things as they flow by. That's beautiful. Obsidian, we talked about. See, I don't think of as sharpened shadows. I know that it can be really sharp. Obsidian is to me is an anchor, but I think we all have personal experiences with our crystals. Oh, I didn't know that. My boyfriend gave me a morganite ring. It's a popular engagement ring if you aren't a fan of diamonds. I did not know that, Hanaconda, at all. Cutting the cores, shock and sharpness as a reflection. Rhodonite. Yeah, rhodonite. I thought it was maybe something a little bit different, but rhodonite. I do have rhodonite, although mine is, I don't think, quite as all pink as this. It's beautiful. Heart's healing. Seal your energy. Heal your heartbeat. That's beautiful. For me, singing sad songs often has a way of healing. I agree. Healing a situation. It gets the hurt out in the open, into the light, and out of the darkness. Reba McEntire. I agree. And country music is great for listening to sad songs. But I do agree, like sometimes when you just need to have a good healing cry, like listening to sad songs or watching a sad movie, and then it just kind of clears it clears the sinuses, it clears the emotional sinuses, and we all need that sometimes. Okay, folks, now if you've watched my channel, if I could only have one crystal, it would be hard. I'm a dragon when it comes to crystals. But if I could have only one, it would probably be clear quartz. I say probably only because of amphibolic quartz would be a hard one for me because it's my soul in a crystal. But if I had to have one, I would have to go with clear quartz. It is said that in ancient Asia, people would put clear quartz outside a temple to collect the energy of the monks' prayers. An egg waiting to be hatched, a song waiting to be sung. Clear quartz is a basket, a womb, the potential to become. The ancient healers knew this. Some say they used clear quartz as wands, allowing it to amplify and direct the energy they generated within themselves. What if, clear quartz asks, you didn't need a bunch of sacred tools? What if you only needed to learn how to grow an intention, direct it with your will, and amplify its effects? What could you create? What problems could you solve? What could you put down if clear quartz was the only thing you needed to pick up? Now, come on. I know, Elle, but it's the extra stuff is gorgeous. Neutralize overload, and then the reflection is what needs a reset. So then it talks about the card. It talks about having a one card, draw 2 cards, the crossing. A different way to approach the cards is to choose one card to represent you and then draw a card to see what's crossing you, which is interesting because, you know, we think about, I think most of us think about crystals in very much a supportive factor. So I think it would be interesting to think about that crystal energy in terms of what in a shadow aspect and how that could be. So I think that would be interesting. And then a 3 card for digging deep. Surface level, go down a little bit deeper. And then the third one, you're kind of going down there into the deep truth. Bye, Miss Annette. Thank you. Sources, my sources are over and over again was the stones. Sit with them, quiet. I love that. Because I love folklore and history, I've spent countless hours discovering interwebs for stone lore. She talks about the Hudson Institute of Mineralogy and so on and so forth. Her thank yous. And then she talks about, obviously, the collection of all 3 of them. There's an image of the box set with the bigger cards. And there's a picture of the lovely Maya. I'm not sure if that's how you say it, Maya, or if it's Maya. I'm not sure. I apologize, Miss Toll, if I'm slaughtering it. So yeah, there we have it. Again, I really love this. I've had these for a while. I love the whole series. I knew I was going to love this one as well. I enjoy her writing. The images are really gorgeous. And I'm going to mix these in a second. But let's just shuffle these up and pull 3 and see what we get on just the Crystallary, since that's what we're talking about. Again, do not at all think that this is great cardstock, because it is not. There's no way to define. You're getting the book, right? You're really paying for a book, and they're giving you some extra to play around with cards, versus having cards that have a guidebook. You know, that's how we generally buy things. We're buying the cards, and then the guidebook is extra. In these sets, the book is what you're buying, and the cards are just like this extra thing for you. Yes, it has the cards in the back. Or you can, again, for the first 2 sets, you can already buy a box set where the cards are more like Oracle card size. But I already have these 2, so I knew I wanted to get the 3rd in the small size. But I thought it would be fun to do a 9 card. We'll see if we can just look at it and see what it looks like in a second. Jada says that's how tarot cards used to come in the back of magazines. Yep, that's so cool, isn't it? I guess it's kind of pulling us back to that. Well, and it's also, I guess, the difference of, you know, I want to make this book, and so here's some cards that you can also use if you like to use cards. I like it. I think the focus on the book is awesome. I think that there's nothing wrong with that. Just being aware that you will not be thrilled with the cardstock, as card enthusiasts that we all are. Yeah, I do really like the contrast of color. I do. It would, I think keeping that up more strongly like we have here would have been beautiful, but they are all gorgeous. But that is definitely my favorite because of that contrast in color. But they are just all beautiful. All right, let's see what we get. We have transmutation with black tourmaline. We have there are worlds within you. So I like the idea of putting the energy out there, right? That we can transmute our intentions out into the world, which is basically what dandelions are doing. You're setting your intentions and you're blowing that out into the world, right? So we have that with the black, but we put it out into the world. How can we do that? Because there are worlds within us, right? We have the power within us. Hence, we can put that power outward into the world as well. And then the last card is Rose Quartz, because I think that is a bit of a reminder that says, you know, put what you're going to put out with love, that we can use a little bit more of that out in the world. That's how I guess I would read those particular cards together. But what I thought would be cool, because there are, I don't know if this is going to fit, because Kay says thank you, Miss Kay. Kay says she has the Herbiary box set and the cardstock is great. I have heard that before. I do know that someone out there, you know, it's interesting because this cardstock feels better than this cardstock by far. This is the first one, I believe. Yeah. See, I can barely see how I can barely do this, but this is the new cards, the newest cardstock. And look at that. Oops, I'm going to shoot it, but this is the thinnest. Let me try this one. That's interesting. That's too bad because it was already not great cardstock. So, okay. So the Bestiary and the Crystallary are the same, not great cardstock. This is still not great cardstock, but it is a little bit thicker than the other ones on the first Herbiary. So that is what it is. That is what it is. Okay, but what I thought would be kind of cool is you could do a 9 card, and you could do like a row. So for me, when I have in my journey deck, I have a crystal support, animal support, and plant support. And so the physical support of the herbs for me would probably go in the middle, right? So you could pull, this is the Herbiary. So you could do a reading that is, you know, pull your 3 crystals here for physical support. And then for me, personally, crystals are soul support. So we could stick, you know, 3 crystals down here below, and then we could put our animal support and guardian energy at the top. And, you know, you could do a reading like that. So there's reasons why I do like having the little ones, that the playing card size ones. Now let's mix these all together because I have to use these both mixed and non-mixed. But let's just go ahead and mix them together and see how they shuffle. Yeah, that's what we would like to know, Kay, whether or not the book seems, is it a book, a hardback book that you think is the exact same as this, or is there a different kind of book that goes with it? That's kind of what I think I would like to know. So here we have what, 90? I mean, you can tell how thin this is by the fact that we have what, 90, somebody can do the math, 36 times 3. We have, and it's, you know, you can riffle shuffle it. So if that doesn't tell you the thinness of the cardstock, nothing will. The book should be 100% the same, but I've never seen your version in person, but it's large and hardcover, so it's possible that is, I bet you can't do the 108. Thank you, Miss Nikki. You know how many messages I'm going to get about my poor math skills? I don't do math in my head, folks. I got too many words in there. But I can ripple shuffle it, right? So that really says something that there's 108 cards, and this is very, very easy to ripple shuffle. So here we can use align your inner compass with the Raven. Hello, Mr. Raven, for showing up in my reading. I appreciate it. And Miss Bear, oh my goodness. My animals are showing up. Sync with the cycles. And me. Look at that. The Raven, the Bear, and the me. We all decided to show up for, and these are all from obviously this deck. Obviously, you would need to get a really good, I mean, I riffled it quite a few times. Soren sucks at math, and I'm multi. See, that's the thing. I think that we all have our strengths. Some are in numbers and some are in words, and that's okay. Some are great in all of them. Yeah, I was like, let me use it. I know, because you don't want to say it and then really feel stupid when you're wrong, right? Okay. Anyways, you don't obviously have to mix these up. The funny thing is that I split like this, and then I pull, obviously, 1, 2, 3. Now I think we got a little bit of everything. So here we have time, distill yourself. Eastern Oyster says deal with your dirt, right? You got to kind of distill yourself down, then deal with your dirt, and then you can go outward and commune with nature and go outward, right? No, the little ones are not, but we wanted to know that. See, look how lucky we are, Kay. Kay is... Kay has the box set, and we were wondering if they were gilded. I think Jamie was asking if they were gilded, or she has one that's gilded. But the box sets are gilded. But right now, let's just recap for people who came in later, right? This is just us playing around here. This is me playing around. The herbiary, the illustrated herbiary, and the illustrated bestiary are out in book form like this, but they also have a boxed set version with full-size oracle cards that are gilded. They come with a pouch. It's like oracle cards. These is a book that is giving you a small playing card size in the back of the book, and it's not anything to do with great cardstock. You're really focused on the book, and it's giving you these extra small little cards. The box set, which you can get with both of these, are full-size oracle decks. The Crystallary just came out, and right now the Crystallary is only in the book set, in the book form. It will be coming out in the box set. So if you like the idea of it and you don't have any of these, then you might want to wait when you can get them all in box sets. I already purchased the books, so I obviously wanted to just finish it off and have the set. Whether or not once they're all three out, I decide to shift to that is, going to be questionable. Some people are not thinking that it's too high, that I won't go there. But I do like, this is my problem, I do like the small size of these. And they've held up pretty well for me. So I have also seen somebody, Jamie, is Jamie still on here? Yeah, you are. Jamie, were you one? Didn't somebody? No, you've got the bigger one. Somebody I know laminated these, which would be quite the tedious process, but they did laminate them so that they would be thicker and that they would hold up. So there are, some things that you can do, but I don't. Again, mine have held up pretty decent. Look how pretty that is, though, with all three of them. So I don't know. I do like my little ones, and so I'm not strongly convinced that I will go with the bigger ones. I think I may just stay with these because I have them and I love them. So, and you know, my issue is that I know these are not going to hold the test of time. Like there's just no way these are going to last very long, because it's just not great cardstock, but we'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Okay, how do I do this? Let's see. I think I can take out of the, oh no, I don't want to kick them from the studio. That's a little harsh. Remove from stream. There we go. Okay, we are at an hour and a half. I meant to do an hour. Yeah, these are the ones that came with the book. Everything that you see here comes with each of the books. I didn't purchase any of the box set. So everything that we've looked at today has been the books and the cards that come in the back of the books, not the boxed sets. So you'll have to decide for yourself where you want to go with that. But I think at least we've seen that the books are just beautiful. I love her style of writing. Her artwork is obviously amazing. I really like the use of the journal questions that I think is just really great prompts to work with. And they're just beautiful. I mean, they're just beautiful. Again, this is not a promotion. I purchased all three of these, but I do love them, and I was really excited to see the Crystallary come out. Because it can't come out because I was waiting for it. So, okay, I'm going to wrap this up because I'm trying to keep this succinct for people watching back. Obviously, it always turns out that way. The live unboxings always end up being even longer than my normal ones, but you know, I just thought it would be fun to pop on and do so. And again, I really need to clear my unboxing stack because it's causing me anxiety. And so I do apologize, but there will probably be extra videos popping up of walkthroughs, and I'm going to probably do some of them as I have a couple of them I know I want to do as lives. And so there may be some inundation, great word, if you can say it, inundation of some live walkthroughs as I kind of chop the stack down. I know I need to set something up. It's just really hard. Like right now, there's not a set schedule of going back and forth. And we're just doing a lot of work on the cabin. And so it is just hard to schedule it. So it would just be like a randomness. Life is busy. Life is busy right now, but I do miss it as well. That is the 100% truth. So some point we will get some kind of random live chat pulled in here. If nothing else, you know, we have to have our 12-hour embrace the magical chat. So that will be like, you know, we'll go from all to from nothing to all, won't we? That'd be crazy. I won't even know how to survive 12 hours of chat at that point. I will have lost my skills. But we will do it because we are not going to break that cycle. That's for sure. That's coming up next month. So, okay. Well, I hope that you all have a wonderful rest of your night. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for popping in. It really does my heart good to chit chat with you all and look at books and decks, cards, I mean, and crystal all together in one space. There's not much better than that. So, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll see you guys all later. I love you so much, and stay safe and stay as happy as you can.